Hello again, it's Jovan, and I just want to say, first of all, thank you for inviting me into your field of consciousness by watching this video, and I welcome you into mine. But I wanted to, in this video, elaborate a little bit more about how important it is for us to facilitate and continue to sustain us through her healing frequencies, her love. Basically, this is about our well-being. Our well-being is holistic. Our well-being is, yes, physical, but it's also emotional, it's also mental, and it's also ultimately spiritual. And so when we are connected to her, in her presence, grounded, present, and truly aware and open, receptive and sensitive to her, not only her healing frequencies and her peace and her beauty, but to her divine consciousness, we in turn absorb that and become and stay balanced. In the Western world, that kind of has been a spearhead in the evolution of our modern world, our modern society, has over time, slowly, little by little, been disconnecting from the earth. This disassociation, this lack of presence, embodiment, and truly connection with not just the natural world, but with the people around us, has over time progressed. Structures and developments that have transpired throughout the last few hundred years has led us down a path of, yes, some advancements, yes, but like everything, there's always pros and the cons. As we have advanced technologically, industrially, to create our vision or our expectation of what we feel is a better life, we have slowly disintegrated our relationship to our environment, and that is quite harmful and detrimental to our long-term well-being. And yes, it's really great that there are, of course, there's organizations, of course, there's companies that are working and people working on creating a better environment and trying to help the situation that we're in right now, the deterioration of our natural world. With that being said, there's a heavy counterbalance with the more that we create technologies that aren't environmentally sound and continue to support the toxic structures that have alienated us from our well-being, our health, the harder it is for us to backpedal. Getting back to the heart of the matter is that there's a call for the divine feminine to rise, and part of this is for the rise of ancient wisdom that has very much to do with our connection to the natural world. The indigenous peoples have known this, have taught this, have lived by this, and yet the indigenous people are cast aside. But they are they're the true keepers of the most basic fundamental wisdom of the planet, of how to be human and live in a symbiotic relationship that is harmonious and healthy to not only the planet but to ourselves, to live in true balance. There's a lot of anxiety and stress and depression in our society, in our world right now, and yes, there are countless of reasons why. There's war, there's politics, there's disease, there's greed, there's abuse, and many other things that are unpleasant and harmful and tragic. The thing that is important to understand is that Gaia, the divine feminine, is calling us back to connect in with her so she can provide the healing that we need. Basis, foundation, bottom line. We need to be present. We need to heal. And our natural environment is the space and the container to do. The more we can disconnect from our internal essence, from our sovereign individuality that shows us, aligns us, and clears us to live in our truth, to not only know our truth, but to live and embody our truth. There's a major mental health crisis on the planet, and it continues to grow. The more we look outside of ourselves for answers, the more we look outside of ourselves for something or someone to save us. And I know the world can be a scary place, but the message that I'm hearing is that Gaia can help us connect back into her. And beyond that, when we connect back into her, we connect back into our truest essence, our truest light, our truest soul. We come into right relationship, not only with her, but with ourselves and with others and with our spirit. The mental health crisis, because there is one, and it's kind of suspect that has not even, from what I've seen, been exposed to. It hasn't even been stated in the mainstream media or news media, but yet that is really a huge underlying schism within the division that we are feeling with our people, our fellow humans. Gaia is calling us back into love and unity, and we cannot do that until we come back into love and unity with ourselves. This is just the message that I received, and I'm just relaying it because it's about maybe a fair warning, but just also an encouragement and an invitation to reconnect with the natural world and what it means to be truly embodied, to be truly present, to be truly healthy. The more we disconnect from our humanity, the more we disconnect from what we are, which is a part of this earth, and we can choose to disconnect or think we're so much above it, or we can choose to understand that it's all symbiotic and synchronistic, and that if something's off balance, then everything's off balance. So again, Gaia is encouraging us to reconnect with her. Go into nature, even if it's your backyard, but experience the consciousness that is alive within her. Open yourself up and believe. Open yourself up. Allow yourself to sink in to her energy, her presence. Because a lot of the symptoms that we are seeing in the world, the hatred, the division, the fear for our health, the fear of others, the shaming, the judgment, the blaming, for whatever reason, you may feel justified, we may feel justified with, for whatever reason we think that makes us feel better about our anger and our judgment and our shame. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the bottom line, that is not love, and Gaia is love. The modern world cannot sustain our mental health. there has to be some major changes. This is about finding a new path, and this is about going into multiculturalism and truly accepting each other for who we are and what we believe and what is our own truth. If we connect back into the planet, we have less fear. If you think about it, if we look back in history, Industrial Revolution that created disease, and the indigenous people know. They will tell you, and it's in the history book, from very dirty cities, overpopulation, lots of overpopulation, cramped spaces, bad sanitation. But what it's pointing to is our present consequences, cause and effect. So the answers aren't simple, but Gaia is just asking us to start simple. Start with one thing. Reconnect back into you. Reconnect back into your truest essence. Who is that? Most of us don't know. Who are you? Not what people tell you to be, or what tradition tells you to be, or society saying is right or wrong, or what's cool and what's not, like what you should do and what you shouldn't do. No, who are you? Those questions aren't easy to answer, but they're important. And one of the easiest ways is to connect back into the planet. Put your bare feet on the ground, sit in silence, allow yourself to open and listen to what is going on in the natural world. You are connecting back into your lifeline, into the womb space, into your extended body, because we are all connected and we are all one. We all have access to wisdom, intuition, and the knowledge of this planet. And that wisdom is in us, of who you are and what this all is, and the basis of love, harmony, and symbiotic connection that is sustainable, and coming back into a healthy mental state, a healthy emotional state. But how can we doubt that one of the major things that is missing is our connection to the natural world? That is our natural state message. Yeah, this is part 2. There is a part 3. And yeah. I hope this was helpful. I may have missed some stuff, because I usually do, because this is, just impromptu or whatever. But if you want to ask me any questions or you have anything to add, I would love to hear from you. You could always leave comments or DM me. And yes, I am sending you all love, and I guess that's it. I'm sending you all love. Have a beautiful day.